Introducing the Honda Prelude, a decision forged from the depths of Honda's boardroom that's still leaving us scratching our heads. So in this video, we'll be diving deep into some of the latest news around the Honda Prelude, being the price.
Oh, I made myself sad.
And if you're considering buying this car specifically, I have some cars that I would recommend that you buy over this one, but stick around until the end for that. Just for my overall picks. But first, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is John with Blackbird Productions, and I create videos like this every month, just talking about the latest automotive news, cars that are on my mind, just regular commentary stuff. And then also every month I also create car reviews. So my latest car review, it did very well. You guys definitely enjoyed that one. I have more Integra Type S content coming on the way. So those who are subscribed from that video, and also consider liking the video, definitely stick around. There's more content to come. But if you haven't already, definitely check out that video, any card somewhere above here. And if you love cars as much as I do, definitely consider subscribing and also leaving a like on this video. It helps me out, and it helps out those who are interested in learning a little bit more about the Honda Prelude or any other cars I decide to talk about. So without further ado, let's get into the Honda Prelude. So first, to start this video off, I want to start with just a quick little overview, very brief. Honda is bringing the Prelude back to North America, borrowing inspiration from the legendary coupe that left the lineup years ago, but this time with modernized styling and an entirely new hybrid setup. Under the hood, you're getting an inline 4 with dual electric motors producing 200 horsepower and 232 pound-feet of torque. And while the badge may stir up some nostalgia, the driving dynamics are very 2025 Honda, if you will. It's a front-wheel drive car, and it does offer Brembo brakes. So that's Honda's / Acura's bespoke Brembo brakes, and a brand new direct drive transmission. Or I'm not even sure if you can call this a transmission, it's something. So if you're hoping for a manual in this car, unfortunately this isn't it. Instead, Honda gives you their new S Plus simulated shift system to mimic gears without actually having any.
What the hell?
And for the Honda Prelude, despite it being a smaller coupe, it does weigh slightly more than my Integra Type S, which is a wider, much longer car with 4 seats, which is what's interesting to me. I have the figures here. So my Integra Type S comes in at 3,219 pounds, whereas the new Honda Prelude comes in at 3,261 pounds, which it's a trivial difference, but it's major, just being that this car is relatively small. At least in a lot of the photos and a lot of the other YouTube videos I've seen it compared to like a Toyota 86, which is also a small sports car, and also something like a Miata, which I think is a little bit smaller than this, but it sort of fits in that same camp of cars. And all of those cars are much lighter than this one. And if I had to take a guess, the weight is just mainly due to the electric motors and the powertrain for this car. So what is exactly wrong with the new Honda Prelude, and why are a lot of enthusiasts bashing this car, quite frankly? And yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about this car, but 3 things come to mind. And the first is the transmission, or if you could call it that. Again, I'm not sure exactly what this is. It is a thing that is simulating gears. I don't think it's a transmission per se. But those who remember the old school Prelude aren't lining up for a hybrid with a simulated gear system, quite frankly. Honda's direct drive unit might be clever engineering, but it's not the kind of experience that gets fans of the original Prelude excited about this car. The second thing is the price, which I alluded to in the beginning of this video. It's $42,000, and that, quite frankly, is a tall order to step inside what you might find as just a modern Honda in every way, pretty much, with some slight little tweaks. Because I know some of the dash is suede, but aside from that, it's just like different colors, different gauge cluster. It's almost like just like a little reskin that they've done compared to all of their other Honda models. And yes, the exterior looks fresh and stands out in Honda's lineup, but the interior feels dated compared to pretty much everything else at this price point. And the third thing that I was thinking about was the power of this car. It is a relatively lightweight sports car with 2 electric motors, 2 whole electric motors. and an inline 4, and it's only making 200 horsepower. I feel like something is off there because any car that I know of that has an electric motor can push power like no one's business. And it can get off the line very quickly, whereas this car is not that. And I'm not sure exactly why Honda has tuned this car to do that. I'm not exactly sure what was lost in translation here. But like I said, with an inline 4 and 2 electric motors, you'd expect this thing to punch way above anything in Honda's sports car lineup. But instead, the output is underwhelming, especially when a Civic Si makes similar numbers for $10,000 less. And honestly, it's just hard to justify the performance in this new Prelude. So let's talk about some of the alternatives that I was thinking about when writing the script for this video. The first one that comes to mind is obviously the Mazda Miata. It's tried and true. Yes, the materials probably aren't as good as Honda. You'll probably get more creaks and rattles over time in a car like that, but it is built to last. No doubt about that. It is also very tunable. The aftermarket has you covered from A to Z, whatever Mazda Miata you do decide to go with. And I have here, it's also offered in a 6-speed manual, of course. It starts at $37,000 and it has 186 horses from its Sky Active 4-cylinder, which honestly I think is enough to play around with such a small car like that. Because you have to realize, while the power might be low, the car makes up for it in its lightweight. And that makes it much nimble through corners. And if you're into track days, this car will definitely not let you down on that. The next alternative I have to the Prelude, which I also alluded throughout this video, was the GR86. Specifically the premium edition, just because, you know, I like my sound and I think the premium edition comes with Bose audio in the seat rest and then also all around the interior. I think it's like a 10 speaker system or something like that, aside from other things, because I'm pretty sure it has like leather, different things like that. But that one starts at $33,000 and you get 228 horses from a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, which is a theme. All of these cars borrow, I feel like, the same variation 4-cylinder throughout other JDM manufacturers. So if you look at the power of these cars combined with the weight, I really do think Honda has missed something here, just because the fact that, you know, the Honda Prelude has a 4-cylinder. But anyway, I digress. The last one is obviously the Honda Civic Si. It's also a very potent car for the money. It comes in a 6-speed manual as well. It starts at $30,000 and you're getting 200 horses from a 1.5 liter turbocharged inline 4, which I think has much more tunability than this hybrid powertrain that Honda seems to be pushing with the Prelude. And who knows, that transmission that they have running the Prelude, it could be something cool. I haven't seen any YouTubers test drive it yet and say anything otherwise. At least the ones that aren't being paid by Honda or had some sort of relationship with Honda. Because there are some out there that have been flown around to talk press around the car, but they don't really tell you, you know, the real truth behind like the powertrain and like the drawbacks and stuff like that. So if you've been around YouTube long enough, you know how that is. Anyway, those are my thoughts about the new Honda Prelude. I honestly thought this car would be pretty cool, and it does look very cool. At least the exterior. The interior looks cool too, but it still looks dated. It looks like every other Honda product, Honda/Acura. And I know this because I'm looking at pictures of the interior of my car, and I'm just thinking like, wow, they just changed colors and just like changed the interface around a little bit. It's still the same exact screen. I think it's like a 7-inch infotainment screen. You still got the same gauge cluster, and the seats look almost identical to me, to be honest. Quite frankly, Honda and Acura have been making some strange product decisions for a while now, and this one might be the most confusing one yet. It feels disconnected from what enthusiasts want, and quite frankly, out of touch with what the market is asking for. My dad said it best, Honda feels like it's being run by executives that are completely out of touch, and instead of building cars that excite enthusiasts or offer real value, we get cars like this that are designed for, well, particularly no one. So if you enjoyed this video and you found it informative just around the Honda Prelude, let me know in the comments below. And also don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I create videos like this every month. and I create car reviews. So if you're interested, definitely check it out. I'll leave a car review to the Mazda Miata right here in a card, just because I mentioned that in this video as well. So definitely check that out. This has been John with Blackbird Productions, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.